The wilderness keeps its own time. It is measured not in hours or minutes, but in the slow turn of seasons, the patient growth of trees, and the silent, relentless reclamation of anything left untended. To be here is to feel that deep, unhurried rhythm. And to work within it is to enter a conversation with something ancient. He stands at the edge of a wound in the earth, a place forgotten by men but remembered by the grass and weeds. It's a shallow depression, a ghost of a pit, perhaps once a well or a forgotten root cellar. But to him, it is a foundation. It is a beginning. The shovel in his hand is not just a tool, it is a pen, and he is about to write a new story into this landscape. The first cut into the soil is a commitment. The blade slices through the matted roots of the surface, a sound like tearing fabric. Beneath lies the dark, damp earth, cool and heavy. The work begins. It is not a frantic, hurried digging. It is a steady, measured excavation. Each shovelful is a weight lifted, a small victory against the sheer mass of the world. The pile of displaced earth grows, a testament to the effort, a small mountain born of a single man's will. The sun arcs across the sky, its light filtering through the canopy of leaves, dappling the ground. The only sounds are the scrape of steel on stone, the soft thud of soil hitting the growing pile, and the man's own breathing, deep and rhythmic. This is the first language of survival, the language of labor. Then, a sudden shift. A section of the upper wall, loosened by the digging below, gives way. A cascade of soil and rock tumbles into the pit, undoing minutes of hard work in a single indifferent moment. He stops. He doesn't curse or show frustration. He simply looks. He assesses. The earth is not an enemy, it is a partner in this construction, and it has its own rules. It demands respect for its weight, its structure, its inherent instability. He understands. He just clears the fallen debris and continues, his movements now a little more careful, a little more aware. He is learning the dialect of this specific patch of ground. He leaves the pit, shouldering a pack and his shovel. This is not a project confined to one hole in the ground. It is an enterprise that encompasses the surrounding forest. He walks through the tall grass, the seed heads brushing against his arms, a living sea of green and gold. He is searching for the bones of his new home. He finds them in the slender, straight trunks of young trees. The axe rings out, a sharp metallic counterpoint to the soft sounds of the forest. Each swing is precise, biting deep into the wood. He is not just destroying, he is harvesting. He is selecting the pieces that will provide strength and form. Back at the pit, the real architecture begins. The hole is no longer just a hole. It is becoming a space. He clears the last of the debris, stripping away the black plastic and old branches left by some previous unfinished endeavor. He is purifying the space, making it his own. The circular shape of the pit becomes more defined, the walls straighter, the floor more level. He is carving a room from the solid earth, a subterranean chamber that already feels separate from the world above. He drives the first sharpened timber into the center of the pit floor. The thud of the heavy mallet is a foundational sound, a stake driven into the heart of his new world. This single post is the anchor, the central pillar around which everything else will be built. More posts follow, forming a strange skeletal structure that rises from the earth. It looks like the fossilized remains of some ancient creature, a ribcage of wood reaching for a sky it will soon be sealed away from. He tests the frame, his own weight a measure of its strength. He leaps onto a crossbeam, the wood groaning but holding firm. It is a moment of quiet satisfaction. This is not just wood and rope, it is the beginning of safety. He works with a focused intensity, lashing the joints with cord. His hands, covered in dirt and calluses, move with a practiced efficiency. Each knot is a promise of stability. The sawing of wood, the hammering, the tightening of ropes. These are the sounds of creation. He is not merely building a shelter, he is building a fortress against the cold, the wet, and the lonely dark of the wild. The wooden skeleton of the chimney and ladder is the most complex piece of the puzzle. It rises from the floor, a tower within a chamber, a conduit between the world below and the world above. It is a masterpiece of primitive engineering, built with an intuitive understanding of angles and loads. He saws, trims, and adjusts, his eye his only level, his hand his only guide. The structure grows, a testament to the power of patience and simple geometry. With the wooden frame in place, the project shifts. It becomes less about wood and more about earth. He brings buckets of water to the edge of the pit, gathering armfuls of long fibrous grass. He is about to create the flesh for his shelter's wooden bones. He mixes the dark, rich soil with water, his hands plunging into the cool, thick mud. He kneads it, working it until it has the consistency of heavy dough. Then he adds the grass, handful after handful, mixing it in. The grass is the rebar, the fiber that will give the clay its tensile strength, preventing it from cracking as it dries. The process is ancient, primal. It is the same technique used by countless generations to build homes from the very ground they stood on. He takes the first heavy handful of this cob mixture and slaps it against the base of the wooden chimney frame. The wet percussive sound is deeply satisfying. He is giving the structure its skin. Layer by layer, the wooden skeleton disappears beneath a thick coat of mud and straw. He works from the bottom up, his hands shaping, smoothing, and compacting the material. He is a sculptor, and his medium is the earth itself. The sharp angles of the wood soften into organic curves. The structure begins to look less like a frame and more like a living thing, something that has grown out of the ground rather than been placed upon it. He builds the base of the oven, a solid rectangular block of clay that will serve as the firebox. He forms the opening, a dark mouth waiting for the gift of flame. Above it, he begins to construct the chimney, a tall, tapering column. The work is slow, methodical. Each handful of clay must be perfectly placed, perfectly bonded to the layer below. The sun beats down, and sweat drips from his brow, but his focus is absolute. He is building the heart of his home. This stove will be the source of warmth, the means to cook food, the beacon of light in the underground darkness. It is the single most important element of the entire shelter. He works for hours, the clay structure rising higher and higher. It is a testament to his endurance, a towering monument of mud and ambition. He steps back to admire his work, the tall wet column gleaming in the filtered sunlight. It looks strong. It looks perfect. And then, it happens. A subtle shift. A sound so faint it is almost imperceptible. A crack appears at the base. A tiny dark line in the smooth, wet clay. It spiders upward, branching out, a network of failure spreading through the structure. For a moment, it holds, a fragile statue on the brink of collapse. Then, with a sigh of yielding matter, a large section of the chimney slumps, buckles, and falls away, crashing to the floor in a heap of wet, useless earth. There is no cry of anger. There is no dramatic gesture of despair. There is only a profound stillness. He stands there, looking at the ruin of his work. The heart of his home is broken. All those hours of labor, all that careful construction, reduced to a pile of mud on the floor. This is the wilderness's cruelest test. It is not a test of strength, but of spirit. It is the moment where many would give up, where the weight of the setback feels too heavy to bear. He simply stands there, his shoulders slumped just a fraction. He looks at the broken clay, then at the sky, then back at the ruin. He breathes in, a long, slow breath. And then, he bends down, picks up his shovel, and begins to clear the debris. The work starts again. There is a different quality to the labor now. It is heavier, but it is also wiser. He knows the material better now. He understands its limits, its weaknesses. He reinforces the wooden frame, adding more support. He mixes the clay with more fiber, making it stronger. He builds more slowly, more deliberately, allowing each layer to settle before adding the next. He is not just rebuilding the stove, he is reforging his own resolve. The failure was not an end, it was a lesson, and he has learned it well. The new structure rises, stronger than the first. It is built not just with mud and straw, but with the hard-won knowledge of collapse. When he finally places the last handful of clay at the top of the chimney, there is a quiet, unshakable confidence in the work. He has faced the worst and he has overcome it. With the stove complete, it is time to close the sky. He lays long, heavy logs across the top of the pit, their ends resting on the surrounding earth. One by one, the beams go into place, a grid of solid wood that slowly blots out the sun. The light inside the pit changes, becomes more diffuse, more sacred. He is enclosing his world, creating a distinct boundary between his home and the wilderness. From the inside, looking up, it is like being at the bottom of a well, the sky, a shrinking circle of blue. He covers the log roof with a layer of grass and leaves, a natural membrane to shed water and provide insulation. And then, the final act of concealment. He begins to shovel the earth he so painstakingly excavated back onto the roof. The shelter begins to disappear. It sinks back into the landscape, the mound of dirt on the roof becoming a small natural-looking hillock. He covers the earth with a final layer of turf and grass, meticulously blending the edges until the shelter is almost invisible. Only a single narrow entrance and the strange, earthen chimney betray its existence. He has not just built a home, he has created a secret. He crafts a ladder and lowers it into the darkness of the entrance. He descends. For the first time, he is truly inside. The air is cool and smells of damp earth and fresh, cut wood. The only light is the dim circle from the entrance above. It is a space of profound quiet, a sanctuary carved from the body of the world. Now, for the final, transformative act. He gathers dry tinder and kindling, small sticks and slivers of wood he had prepared. He kneels before the dark opening of the stove, the hearth that he built twice. He arranges the tinder inside, strikes a spark, and gently blows. A tiny ember glows, then catches. a small flame flickers to life, fragile and precious. He feeds it small twigs, then larger sticks. The flame grows, and a soft orange light begins to push back the shadows. He adds larger pieces of wood until a proper fire is roaring in the belly of the stove. He watches, mesmerized. The smoke, at first thick and white, finds its path, drawn up the tall chimney he so carefully constructed. It pours out of the top, a plume of white against the green of the forest, a signal of life from a place that is otherwise hidden. The clay walls of the stove begin to glow from within, a deep warm red. Heat radiates out into the small chamber, a living presence that banishes the subterranean chill. This is the moment of triumph. The fire is the soul of the shelter. He builds a bed frame from leftover logs, a simple sturdy platform next to the warm stove. He unrolls his sleeping bag, a splash of modern color in this ancient space. He has everything he needs. He has shelter, he has warmth, he has a place to rest. The labor is not over, but its nature has changed. He is no longer building, he is inhabiting. He splits firewood with a hand axe, the sharp cracks echoing in the confined space. He arranges his few supplies. And then, he prepares to eat. He places a cast iron skillet on the flat top of the stove. The metal sizzles as it heats up. He slices thick pieces of bacon, the knife moving with a satisfying rhythm on the wooden cutting board. He lays them in the hot pan, and the sound and smell of frying bacon fill the small chamber. It is a glorious, decadent scent, a reward for weeks of toil. He adds chopped onions, then a can of corn. Finally, he cracks 2 eggs into the pan, the whites immediately turning opaque in the intense heat. He seasons it all with fresh cracked pepper and scallions. He eats directly from the pan, sitting on his new bed, the firelight dancing on the earthen walls. The food is simple, but it tastes like the finest meal in the world. Every bite is earned. Every bit of warmth is a direct result of his own 2 hands. There is a deep, profound peace in this moment. He has wrested comfort and safety from the raw, indifferent wilderness. As evening falls, the world outside cools and darkens. The sounds of the day, the birds, the wind in the leaves, are replaced by the chirping of crickets and the distant hoot of an owl. But inside the shelter, it is warm and bright. The fire crackles, a constant, reassuring companion. The thick earthen walls insulate him from the night, a solid barrier between his small pocket of warmth and the vast, cold darkness. He lies back on his sleeping bag, hands behind his head, staring at the ceiling of logs and earth. The fatigue is a heavy, pleasant ache in his muscles. It is the feeling of a body that has been used well for a purpose. He is not just a man in a hole in the ground. He is a creator. He is a survivor. He has built his world, and now he is living in it. He feeds the fire one last time, the flames leaping up, and then he settles in for the night. The only light is the soft pulsing glow from the stove's opening, painting the room in shades of orange and black. The silence is absolute, broken only by the gentle crackle of the burning wood. Out there, in the dark, the wilderness continues its timeless rhythm. But in here, in this small warm space buried in the earth, a man has found his own rhythm, his own time, his own peace. He has come to the wild not to conquer it, but to find a place within it. And in the process of building a shelter from the earth, he has built a home within himself. The smoke from his chimney rises, a thin solitary thread connecting the deep, quiet dark of the earth to the vast, silent dark of the starry sky. And he sleeps, safe and warm, in the heart of the world he made.